Thibaut.
Hello, Didi, pranams.
Rival, pranams, Dandavats, Thibaut. Jai Shri Guru Gauranga Narka Giridhari Shri Shri Radha Raman Bihari Ji ki Jai. Shri Govinda Gopinath Madan Mohan Ji ki Jai. Jai Shri Vishnu Pada Paramahans Parivajaka Stotra Shat Shri Srimad-Bhaktivedanta. Shri Goswami Maharaja Shri Gurudev ki Jai. Nitile Pravistam Vishnu Pada Stotra Shat Shri Srimad-Bhaktivedanta. Shri Narayana Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Nitile Pravistam Vishnu Pada Stotra Shat Shri Bhaktivedanta. Shri Vamana Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Jai Nitile Pravistam Vishnu Pada Stotra Shat Shri Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj ki Jai. Shri Bhakti Pragyan Keshava Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Nitile Pravistam Vishnu Pada Stotra Shat Shri Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada ki Jai. Nitile Pravista Paramahans Shri Guru Ksharodas Babaji Maharaj ki Jai. Jai Srila Guru Ksharodas Babaji Maharaj ki Jai. Sajidananda Shri Bhaktivedanta Thakur ki Jai. Vaishnava Sri Jagannathas Babaji Maharaj ki Jai. Shri Param Gurudeva ki Jai. Jai Srila Navadip Dham ki Jai. Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopi Giriraj Maharaj ki Jai. Shri Makunda Radha Kunda Jamuna Ganga Tulasi Bhakti-Devi ki Jai. Lalita Vishakashtaka Vrinda ki Jai. Shri Rupa Manjari Rati Manjari Nanga Manjari Lavanga Manjari Jai. Jayanant Purushottam Vrat ki Jayanat Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Jai. Samveda Gaura Bhakti Vrinda ki Jai. Gaura Premanandi Hari Hari Bo. Jai Shri Sanatana Goswami Pada ki Jai. Srimad-Bhagavatam ki Jai. Om Jnana-timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshuru Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namayam Vishnu Padaya Gaura Prishtaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Vanaiti Namine Vandeham Bhakti Chakoram Gauranga Nija Preshtitam Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Samivana Namastubhyam Shri Radhika Nishtitam Rasayana Katamritam Sankirtanam Anandadam Goswaminam Vanam Namaha. Namayam Vishnu Padaya Radhikaya Priyatmane Shishimad Bhaktivedanta Narayana iti namine Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripasindubhya Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratishe Namaha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gourangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Pre Om Vrindaya Tulasidevaya Priyaya Keshavasacha Krishna Bhakti Pradidevi Satyavatai Namo Namaha. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Shri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare. First of all, my obeisances to the lotus feet of my spiritual master, Om Vishnu Pada Stotra Shad Shri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Shri Goswami Maharaj, Param Gurudeva Nitile Pravistam Vishnu Pada Stotra Shad Shri Bhaktivedanta Shri Goswami Maharaj, Nitile Pravistam Vishnu Pada Shri Bhaktivedanta Narayana Goswami Maharaj, so Shri Rupa Guru Varga, Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis, to all of you who are present here now, who will be in the future, hearing this recording. My Dandavat Pranams to all of you. So, today, now in the beginning, I would like to do some 3 stutis, which I consider are, Srila Gurudev explains are very, very important. And I think they're like a must in the Purushottam Vrat. Every day we should sing. Actually, there are many stotras like Lalit Mohini, Hare Krishna Didi, Madhavala Didi, Dandavat Pranam. Madhavala Didi, Lalit Mohini Didi. So, sorry, Didi, I was supposed to connect earlier and we do many, many stotras, many prayers together. There are some prayers, so many we should do every day, especially in the month of Purushottam. But sometimes they can take like at least 30 minutes or even a little bit more, 30 minutes to 1 hour. But I think there, even if sometimes some days are too hurry or we don't have enough time to do all the prayers, but at least I think Jagannathastakam we can sing because the prayer to Lord Jagannath, now the month of Purushottam, and also Radha Krpa Kataksa and Namami Nanda-nandastakam. These 3 prayers, because like month of Kartik, we should observe Purushottam like the month of Kartik. So these two prayers, Namami Nanda-nam and Radha Krpa Kataksa, Gurudeva explains, Param Gurudeva, they are very important, especially in Kartik. Every day you have to do it. So I think we could do only these three, but there are more also we could do every day. But I think today we can do these three, and then we go start the book. Is it okay?
Yes.
Yes. So I'll open here the prayer, the Jagannathastakam, and we can read together and sing also, okay? Let me open here, 1 second. And we can see the Gaudiya Gita Guch. Which page is it? So I'm sorry for those who maybe already sang today, but we just because also Lalit Mohini Didi, our new sister from Australia, from Perth, she's here in the meeting, and she wants to also know more how to sing the songs. And please excuse us, let's just sing a little bit. It won't take more than 10 minutes, and then we can go to the book. So first, Jagannathastakam. So, sorry, let me just open in the Zoom the book. Okay, so who knows the page, Jagannathastakam? So let's see here. Sanskrit stotras. So this is the very auspicious to sing every day, especially in the Purushottam month. Many, like for Jamuna Devi, Larita Devi, Govardhanashtakam, many praise for Sri Krishna. But this one is very important also, Sri Jagannathastakam, page 300. The Mangala Gita also is very important. We sang that day. Remember Lalit Mohini Didi on the weekend when we met? We sang Mangala Gita. And today we'll sing Jagannathastakam. So this is page 300. Okay, 300 in the songbook. Haribo Indira Didi, Dandavat pranams. Haribo, so glad you're here. So this Lalit Mohini Didi is our new sister from Perth. She's in the middle. And then she wants to, she asked, we can sing a little bit of the main songs for the month of Purushottam. So just now in the beginning, we're just singing Jagannathastakam, Namami Nanda-nandastakam, and Radha Krpa Kataksa. It won't take more than 10 minutes. Then we'll jump to the book, really continue reading, okay? So I hope you can see the lyrics also on the screen. Let me see if you can see. Can you see? So I hope you can see. Yes, can everyone see? Okay, so let's sing. I have a Nirbanga here. Actually, Indira Didi could sing, huh? Indira could lead the singing, and we sing lower. Indira, can you sing?
Yeah.
Huh? Oh, I think your internet's not so good. It's a little bit cutting off. Can you hear me? Oh, I think your internet, I can see you very nice, but your sound is not coming clear. It's like cutting.
Yes, the same for me, but I can hear you very good, Tarani Didi.
Okay.
But Indra Didi, I cannot hear.
Yeah, but okay. So forgive my voice. Whoever wants to open your sound and also sing together, but maybe because of the the internet problem, maybe it'll be a little bit strange the sound if you sing along in the mic. Anyway, so the rhythm, because especially she wants to see the rhythm. So let's start, okay? Jai Srila Gurudev ki Jai. So this prayer is very, very important. Jagannathastakam, composed by Sri Shankaracharya, which is Lord Shiva, the great devotee of Lord. And Mahaprabhu used to sing in the front of the Rathayatra, in front of Jagannath in the time of Rathayatra. Kadachit kalinde tata vipina sangita kavaro Modhabiri nari vadana kamala sadamadopa Rama Shambhu Brahma Pati Ganesha Chitapado Jagannath Swami Nayana Patagani Bhavature Jesa Vivenum Shirasi Shiki Picham Patitate Mukulam netrante sahachara kataksham vidadate. Sada Srimad Vrindavana vasati parichayo. Jagannatha Swami Nayana Patagami Bhavatame. Mahambodhistire Kanakaruchire Nila Shikare. Vasaprasadanta Sahajabala Bhadrena Virbalina. Subhadra Madhyastha Sakala Sura Seva Vasarado. Jagannatha Swami Nayana Patagami Bhavatume. Paparavara Sajala Jalada Shreni Ruchiro. Namavarni Rama Spuradambalapa Keru Hamuka. Surendra Radha Shruti Ganashika Gita Charito. Jagannatha Swami Nayana Patagami Bhavatume. Atarodo Gacham Atimilita Bhudeva Patala. Shruti Pradulbhavam Patikritamopa Karna Sadaya. Daya Sindurban Sakala
Jagatam Sindhu
Jagaya. Jagannatha Swami Nayana Patagami Bhavatume. Hara Brahma Pida Kurvalaya Dala Nayana. Charana Nanta Shirasi. Rasanandi Radha Jagannatha Swami Nayana Patagami Bhavatume. Avaja Cheraja Nikya Vibhavam. Ajachayam Ramyam Sakala Jana Kamyam Bharavadhum. Sada Kale Kale Brahmatapadina Gito. Jagannatha Swami Bhavatume. Haratam Samsaram Tataramasaram Surapate. Haratam Papanam Vitatipaparam Mahodinyanate Nihitacharan Jagannatha Swami Nayana Patagami Bhavatume. Jagannathastakam Punyam Yavate Prayata Shuchi. Sarvapa Vishnu Lokam Sagachati. Repeat the last line. Jagannatha Swami Nayana Patagami Bhavatume. One more time. Jagannatha Swami Nayana Patagami Bhavatume. Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Jagannatha Jagannatha Jaya Jagannatha Jai Jagannath Dev Ki Jai. So this last verse, it's I think another metric. So sometimes actually doesn't fit exactly the same rhythm. Some people don't recite sometimes the last one, the verse 9. And the verse 7, Navache Rajam Nachakamanikya Vibhavam. Gurudeva recites this verse every day before his classes. So it's good, like a good verse to memorize and to also meditate, especially. Of course, you should read the meaning and always meditate and everything, but especially this one, verse 7, very, very important. I do not pray for a kingdom, nor for gold, jewels, wealth, or for a delightful wife as desired by all men. My only prayer is that Sri Jagannathastakam, whose splendid glories are sung at every moment by Shiva, the Lord of ghosts and demons, may kindly enter the pathway of my vision. So now we'll sing Namami Nanda-nandastakam and Radha Krpa Kataksa. Haribol Basanti Didi, Dandavat Pranams. Haribol, how's everything? Thank you so much for being here. How's your mom?
She's all right. On another planet.
So now we'll sing 2 songs before starting, just Radha Krpa Kataksa. What is the page? So these 2 songs are very, very important. If we sing for Srimati Radhika this song, Krishna will be very pleased. And if we sing for Krishna, Srimati Radhika will be very pleased. Especially these 2 prayers are very, very powerful. Where is it? Who knows the page? Radha Krpa Kataksa.
285 maybe?
285.
It's around there, I think.
Yeah. Okay. So 285. So first we sing for Krishna, which is the page here. 289. So remember, we're now 289, Sri Nanda-nandastakam, but then it will come straight. We'll jump to the song, so the previous song, 285. So in the end, we'll go to the 285. So now page 289. Okay, everyone's got it? You can also see my screen, I think, yeah? Yes? Okay. Lalit Mohini Didi, did you find in your book? Yes, you got it in your book? Lalit Mohini, you have 285?
Yep.
Yes, okay, good. So we'll recite the end first. Namami Nanda-nandastakam, Namami Nanda-nandastakam, Namami Nanda-nandastakam, Namami Nanda-nandastakam, Sucharu Bhakta-mandalam, Sukha-Saratna-kondalam,
Chandanam
Namami Nanda-nandastakam, Sudhira-dita pankajam, Vikishikandamodajam, Ananda-koti-mohanam, Namami Nanda-nandastakam, Sunasika-gramoptikam, Sachanda-danta-pankikam, Avambodanga-chikandam, Namami Nanda-nandastakam, Karena-vedu-ranjitam, Gate Karinga Ganjit, Gokula Pita Shobhanam, Namami Nanda-nandastakam, Vibhanga Deha Sundaram, Nakadyuti Sudhakaram, Amulya Ratna Bhushanam, Namami Nanda-nandastakam, Sugandhayanga Saurabham, Puro Viraji Kaustubham, Suratrivatsalancanam, Namami Nanda-nandastakam, Vrindavana Sunagaram, Vilasanugavasasam, Surendra Garvamochanam, Namami Nanda-nandastakam, Rajangana Sunagaram, Sada Sukha Pradaya, Jagannana Kalovanam, Namami Nanda-nandastakam, Sri Nanda-nandastakam, Pateya Shradayam Vita, Tare Bhava Bindushtaram, Labeta Dangri Jomakam, Namami Nanda. Now page 285, Namami Nanda.
Yeah.
Namami Nanda-nandastakam, Munindra Vrinda Vandite, Triloka Shobharini, Prasanna Vakta Pankaje, Nikunda Bhovilasini, Brajendra Bhadavati, Brajendra Sonu Sangat, Adakarisha Siham, Kripa Kataksa Bhajanam, Ashoka Vriksha Vallari, वितानमण्डपास्थिते प्रवल्ल पल्लव प्रभारुणाङ्घ्रिकोमले वराभयस्फुरत्वरे प्रभूत सम्पदालये कदा करिष्यसि हम कृपा कटाक्ष भाजनम् अलङ्गारङ्गमङ्गल प्रसंग भङ्गुरावृह सविभ्रमं ससंभ्रम त्रिगन्धवन्नपातन निरन्तरं वशीकृता प्रतीति नन्दनन्दने कदा करिष्यसि हम कृपा कटाक्ष भाजनम् हरित्सुवर्ण चम्पक प्रदीप्त गौरविग्रहे मुखा प्रभा परस्तकोटि शारदेन्दु मण्डले विचित्र चित्र संचार चकोर शावलोचने तदा करिष्यसि हम कटाक्ष भाजनम् मदोन्मदाति यौवने प्रमोदमानमन्दिते प्रियानुरागरञ्जिते कलाविलासपण्डिते अनन्यधन्य राजकामखेल कोविदे तदा करिष्यसि हम कृपा कटाक्ष भाजनम् अशेषहावभावधीर हीरहार भूषिते प्रभूत शूत शकुम्भ कुम्भ कुम्भि कुम्भ सूषणि प्रशस्त मन्दहास्य चूर्ण पूर्ण सौख्य सागरे कदा करिष्यसि हम कृपा कटाक्ष भाजनम् वल्ल वल्ल वल्लरी तरंग रंग दोलते अताग्रलास्य लोलनी लोचनावलोकने ललामिलावलोगमुग्धमो अनाश्रिते गदा करिष्यसि हम कृपा कटाक्ष भाजनम् सुवर्णमालि कञ्चिता तिरेकम्बुकन्तये त्रिसूत्रमङ्गली गुण त्रिरत्नदीप्तिदीदिते सलोलनीलकोटला प्रसूनगोचगुम्फिते तदा करिष्यसि हम कटाक्ष भाजनम् पुष्पमेकलागुणे प्रशस्तरत्नकिङ्किणि कलापमाद्यमञ्जुले करिन्दशब्ददारिका वरोह शोभगोरुके कदा करिष्यसि हम कृपा कटाक्ष भाजनम् एकमन्त्रनादमञ्जुनो पुरारवास्कल समाजराजहंस वंशनिकणाति गौरवे विलोल हेमवारि विडम्बिचारु चङ्क्रमे कदा करिष्यसि हम कृपा कटाक्ष भाजनम् अनन्तकोटि विष्णु नम्रपद्मजार्चिते हिमाद्रिजा पुलोमजा विरिञ्चजा वरप्रदे परसिद्धिदिग्धसात्पदङ्गुलीन कदा करिष्यसि हम अखेश्वरी क्रियेश्वरी स्वदेश्वरी सुरेश्वरी देवेद भारतीश्वरी प्रमाण शासनेश्वरी रमेश्वरी क्षमेश्वरी प्रमोद काननेश्वरी ब्रजेश्वरी व्रजाधिपे चिरादिके नमोस्तुते इति मनाद्भुतं स्तवम् निशम्य भानुनन्दिनी करोतु सन्ततं जनम् कृपा कटाक्ष भाजनम् भवेत् तदेव सच्चिता त्रिरूपा karmanashana Pavetada Brajendra Sono Mandala Pravesha Kada Karisha Siham Kripa Kataksha Bhajanam Jaya Radhe Jaya Krishna Jaya Radhe Jaya Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Nitai Gaura Hare Bo Hare Bo Hare Bo Gaura Hare Bo Gaura Premanande Hare Bo Jai Shri Purushottam Vrat Ki Jai. So these prayers are very, very important. We recite every day. So those who have observed the month of Kartik in India with Gurudev, you know how important these two songs are, because we recite them twice a day with Gurudev, with all the Maharajas, all the Gurudevs, morning and evening. So they're very, very important. Namami Nanda-nandastakam and Radha Krpa Kataksa. At least once a day on Purushottam month, we should recite these prayers. Were very, very important. And Jagannathastakam and Mangalacharan, there are more songs, but especially these two songs are very important for the month of Kartik, because they're very powerful prayers for Radha and Krishna. So now let's continue the book Bhakti-Rasayana. So I hope those who are not here last week, you heard the first class or you read. So let me open the book. So last week we heard the introduction, we read the introduction, and we started. So let me put here in the page where we were. Okay, so we started reading already last week about how, so the explanation of the first verse of the Bhakti-Rasayana chapter of the Srimad-Bhagavatam. So these classes are in Mathura, that Param Gurudeva described all these classes, all these Bhakti-Rasayana chapter of Srimad-Bhagavatam, which is a very special chapter of the Srimad-Bhagavatam. So this is the first verse we're discussing, Bhagavatam 10.15.8. So let's read the translation again of the verse. Can everyone see on the screen? I hope you can all see in your screen this verse. Yes? So the verse says, Sri Krishna said to Balaram, Today, this land, along with all its green grass, has become fortunate due to receiving the touch of your lotus feet. And receiving the touch of the fingers of your lotus hands, the trees, creepers, and bushes consider that they have attained the greatest treasure. Receiving your affectionate glances, the rivers, mountains, birds, and animals are all feeling fully gratified. But most fortunate of all are the vraja-gopis, who have been embraced to your strong chest, a favor that even Laksmi-devi herself always desires. Okay?
Yes.
So, Param Gurudeva started describing, we already read yesterday, how actually this verse, because this verse is Krishna saying to Balaram, but Krishna is actually talking about himself. Remember we discussed? Param Gurudeva explained to us. Because we should never praise ourselves, remember? And we should never hear our own self-praise as well. I mean, no one praising us as well. So Krishna, he's actually telling Balaram, but actually speaking about himself. And this verse is also describing how actually now Krishna is in the puberty hit, right? And now Krishna, he's becoming a teenager. So his newfound cleverness in speech is evident in his speaking of this verse. To avoid praising himself, he uses the presence of Baladev Prabhu as a pretext to express his feelings. Because at this age he has become a little intelligent, he realizes that he should never praise himself. Praising oneself is like committing suicide. So we discussed about this in details last class. Here he wants to describe how Vrindavana is more glorious than any place within the three worlds, and even more glorious than Vaikuntha. he begins by saying that the earth is fortunate. Why is the earth fortunate? Because of the presence of India. And why is India so glorious? Because of the presence of Vrindavan. And why is Vrindavan so glorious? Because of the presence of the Gopas and Gopis. Why are the Gopas and Gopis glorious? Because amongst them are Krishna and Radha. And why are they glorious? Because of the mutual prem between them, the love. And that is our highest objective. If not for the amorous love of Sri Radha and Krishna, then all of our endeavors would be meaningless. It is prayed for again and again by the topmost devotees. And Radha's prem is so glorious that it overpowers Krishna himself. But he doesn't describe all of this directly by saying, I am the supreme ornament that beautifies Vrindavan. He doesn't say like that. Because he's now entering his Kaishora age, becoming a teenager. So when speaking, he knows how to keep this feeling hidden and how to skillfully reveal it. Okay, so just now Param Gurudeva was explaining why India is so blessed, so the topmost place, why Vrindavan is the topmost place, and this is very important. Huh? What is that verse? Tribhuvane Pritividhanya. Like why in the three worlds, if you think about it, actually, like I don't know if sometimes you think about it, but like example, if you think about our position in the middle of the creation, how like small are we, like insignificant, a small soul, tiny soul, and you think how many, like if you look at the stars at the sky at night, like wow, how many stars, how many planetary systems, 14 planetary systems, in all of them there are like many planets. We are just like one more place, right? And one of the billions of universes. But if you think about it, this place where we are, the Earth, is actually the most special place in the whole universe, if you think about it. Especially the Earth planet. Why? Because even though we're in the middle place, here it's like you have hell and heaven at the same time, right? You can do bad things and suffer. You can also get good things and reap good fruits. But because in the Earth planet, Vrindavan is here because God, Lord Sri Krishna, he comes himself and he performs pastimes like a human being here in Vrindavan. And here in the earth, he manifests his transcendental Vrindavan in this world, Bhama Vrindavan. And Krishna is showing these pastimes which are even rare in Vaikuntha. So in the whole, not the whole, but almost the whole part of the spiritual world, Vaikuntha, Mahavaikuntha, the part which is like Vaikuntha, Ayodhya, Dwaraka, Mathura, these pastimes are not visible. Rasa Lila, the pastimes between Krishna and Srimati Radha, they are not visible even there. But here in the Earth planet, in the Earth, on the Earth, it's possible to see these pastimes, which are rare even in Vaikuntha. So there's a book of Gurudev coming out soon. Krishna Kripa Prabhu knows better because he is helping doing this book about the reasons why Krishna came to this world, why Krishna comes to this world. And this is one of the reasons, to manifest these pastimes which are even rare to be seen in Vaikuntha Lok. So Vrindavan being on the earth makes the earth so special. So why India is so special? Because of Vrindavan. And why Vrindavan is so special? Because of Radha and Krishna. So this is also another point. So if you think about, we're like so small in the universe, but actually we are in the best place, which is the earth. And like so many of you live in India, like we have here Indira Didi, Vrajavasi with us, our god sister, living in Vrindavan. And also some of us, we have the chance to go every year with Gurudev in Vrindavan, or also we can hear and meditate about Vrindavana Dham. Because in Vrindavan, the place where Krishna came 5,000 years ago, and performed all his pastimes, and all the places are still there. And we can hear from Gurudev what happened here. And all these pastimes are still taking place in one of the universes, because the pastimes, even in the material world, they're eternal. So anyway, there are many Tata Siddhanta to describe, but actually one thing I wanted to say, because Param Gurudeva said that Vrindavan is so glorious because of the Gopas and Gopis. And why the Gopas and Gopis are so glorious? Because Radha and Krishna. So one point very clear we should understand, and Gurudeva so many times he describes this, is actually the love of Radha and Krishna, which is the paramour mood, the conjugal paramour mood, right? Is actually everything which is happening in Vrindavan is actually nourishing that mood and helping the meeting of Radha and Krishna. So maybe some people, they love Krishna as friend, right? Some devotees Sakiras, some devotees Vatsalaras love Krishna as a son. But still, all the rasas, they actually nourish Madhurya Rasa. So this is something very important to understand. Srila Raghunadas Goswami also explained, Jat Kinchit Trinagulama Kikatamukam. Let all the living entities in the Dham, spiders, lions, scorpions, they're all actually helping the pastimes of Radha and Krishna. Which means like all the other rasas, they nourish also Radha and Krishna's love. So the example is given like the ocean. So all the rivers, they merge in the ocean, right? All the water of all the rivers come in the ocean. So in the same way, all the other rasas, mean all the other kinds of love for Krishna that exist in Vrindavan, actually all of them are nourishing the Radha and Krishna's love, means topmost ras, Unata Jula ras, this Gopi Bhav Madhurya ras. So just like all the rivers, they come in the ocean and they enhance the water of the ocean. So in the same way, all other rasas of Vrindavana, they're actually helping. The main thing is actually to help the pastime of Radha and Krishna to meet and the gopis. So actually, there was something very important to understand. Sometimes maybe we think, okay, in Vrindavana there is Krishna Mother Jashoda, Krishna with his friends, and Krishna with the gopis, the three moods, which is true, of course. But we have to understand that the main thing is actually Krishna with Shrimati Radhika and the gopis, and then all the other rasas are actually helping that. You can also understand, and another also explanation is that Nitya Lila and Amitik Lila, right? So what is the Nitya Lila? Nitya Lila is the pastime which is always taking place in the transcendental world, always. So what is that? Rasa Lila and other pastimes, but especially Rasa Lila. So for example, Krishna taking birth from Mother Jashoda, that only happens in the material world. So that's called Naimitic Lila, means temporary pastime. But so why I'm saying that? Because the main Gurudeva always says, what is Krishna doing? What is the only job of Brajendra Nanda Shama Sundar? Playing the flute and dancing with the gopis, like Rasa Lila with the gopis. That's the main pastime. So everything else happening in the spiritual world, it's nourishing the pastimes of Radha and Krishna. So because they have the topmost love, Shrimati Radhika has the topmost love towards Krishna. Okay, so continuing. Together, Krishna and Balaram are taking the cows out to graze. And upon seeing the beauty and splendor of the Vrindavana forest, at once Krishna becomes overwhelmed with emotion. What is the meaning of Vrindavan? Vrindavana means the forest of Vrinda or Tulasi. There are many other wonderful trees and plants found there, but the Tulasi tree is primary. It can also mean the forest where the cowherd girl Brinda Devi is queen. Why is she known as the Queen of Vrindavan? Because she arranges amorous meetings between Sri Radha and Krishna. Another meaning of Vrinda is group, meaning groups of cows, gopas, gopis, and Avan can mean one who nourishes and protects. So Vrindavana can also mean the ones who provide stimuli that nurture and increase feelings of love in Sri Govinda and the cows, gopas, and gopis. More meanings have been given, but these three are primary. So everyone understands the three primary meanings of the word Vrindavan? So Vrindavana, meaning, so one meaning is that Vrinda means Tulasi plants, right? So there are so many Tulasi plants in Vrindavan. So means Vana means forest. So the forest where there are many, many Tulasi plants, especially Tulasis, but also other plants. So that's called Vrindavan, first meaning. Second meaning, what he said, the forest whose queen is Vrinda. So who is Vrinda? Vrinda Devi is a friend of Shrimati Radhika. She's a gopi. She's actually Krishna Paksha Gopi, more friend of Krishna. But her duty is actually, she's a manifestation of Jogamaya, Purnamasi. So her duty is always to arrange the meeting of Radha and Krishna. And she's actually always like, she's like, let's say like the organizer of the pastimes, especially in Madhurya Ras, Vrinda Devi. And especially her role is very special. We know in the Nishanta Lila, means before the Mangalarati, in the end of the night when Radha and Krishna have to separate and go to their respective to their own houses, how Vrinda Devi helps in waking them up. So we know every day we sing the Mangalarati. And why she's the queen of Vrindavana, remember? Because Shrimati Radhika, actually she's the owner of Vrindavana, she's the queen, because she rules everywhere. But Shrimati Radhika gave that to Vrinda Devi. Shrimati Radhika is very generous and gave to Vrinda, her friend. And sometimes Krishna says that Vrindavan is his because Vrinda is his wife, And that's why Vrindavan is his. But then Vrinda Devi comes and says, I didn't marry this black fellow. It's a lie. Anyway, so this is another pastime. But and the third meaning, which is actually very beautiful, I didn't know this third meaning. The first and second I heard, but the third one, did you guys were you familiar before with the third meaning? So third meaning is, okay, Vrinda means group. Actually, we know that Vrinda means group because every day when we do the Jayadwani, in the end we say, what do we say? Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki Jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda. All the unlimited Vaishnava groups, ki Jai, Sama Veda Gaura, or Sama Gat Gaura Bhakta Vrinda, all the groups of the devotees of Mahaprabhu, right? Together. So Vrinda, we say in the Jadwani many times this word. So Vrinda means group. And Vana, Avana means one who nourishes and protects. So groups of cows, gopas and gopis, cowherd boys and cowherd girls. So Vrindavana, another third meaning now, let's remember.
Protects.
Being the ones who provide stimuli. Stimuli means what? Stimuli means stimuli, right? English word, but like stimulation means remembrance, that nurture and increase feelings of love in Shri Govinda and the cows, gopas and gopis. More meanings have been given, but these three are primary. As Krishna was speaking this verse, he was remembering his own pastimes, and waves of bhav began to flow inside him. As he was going along with his friends, the joy he felt knew no limits, and he said, My dear brother, today Prithvi Devi, the earth, has become fortunate, and the hairs of her body, which are the grass, creepers, vines, and trees, are standing on end in ecstatic rapture. The grass, creepers, and vines, receiving the touch of your lotus feet, and the trees, being touched by your hands as you pick fruits and flowers, have today become fully gratified. And the rivers, mountains, birds, deer, and all other animals, receiving affectionate glances from you, have today become specially fortunate. But the most fortunate of all are the gopis, who have received what even Laksmi-devi herself desires. What? Being embraced between your two strong arms. Param Gurudeva continues. From the very beginning of creation, Prithvi Devi has been serving Bhagavan. Whenever he desired to assume an incarnation, he would descend on this earth and grace the land with its footprints. Varaha held the earth on his snout. And at that time, Prithvi Devi became his wife, and from them a son, Narakasur, was born. And the earth is always in contact with the Lord's in the form of Shesh, as he holds her on his head. From time immemorial, she has been receiving such good opportunities. But Krishna tells Balarama, today, by receiving the touch of your feet, the earth has become especially fortunate. Why? Because you are now at the junction of your Pauganda and Kaishora age. Remember, puberty, right? Between childhood and becoming a teenager. And your lotus feet are especially soft, and such a nice fragrance is coming from them. You move along the earth like an intoxicated baby elephant. Has the earth ever received such an opportunity before? Today, the earth has really become fortunate. So Krishna is telling Balaram that, yes, now the earth is really fortunate because your lotus feet are so soft, so fragrant, and you are walking around this earth, on this earth, like an intoxicated baby elephant. And now you're what? A teenager in your puberty. So yes, the earth has had some opportunity to have the grace of Bhagavan, but not like this. So Param Gurudeva continues. Here someone may point out that at that time, Krishna had been in contact with the Vrindavana forest for only 10.5 years, where Sri Ramachandra wandered in the forest of Dandakaranya for 14 years. In bare feet, he also walked the entire distance to South India before entering Lanka. So, did the Prithvi Devi not become as fortunate then as she did during Krishna Lila? It's a good question, huh? So why now the earth is so fortunate? But like we saw, the earth is actually being held by Shesh, which is, the snake incarnation, Baladev Prabhu, that holds all the universes on his hood, in all of his hoods. So actually the earth is in contact with Lord, and also Varahadeva also took the earth on his snout, and even like they had association. And what happened, Narakasur, that demon was born. And Lord Ramachandra, he walked on the earth for 14 years, bare feet. So why now she's so fortunate, not before? Rama was banished to the forest, and when in the last year of his exile, Ravan kidnapped Sita, he wandered here and there, crying in anguish. Therefore, at that time, Prithvi-Devi certainly became fortunate from the touch of his feet, but she must have also felt very sad. She really became fortunate when Krishna came in an immensely beautiful form, with a peacock feather in his crown. He would smile as he was decorated by his mother in the morning. And then, accompanied by Shridam and Subal and the other Sakas, he would take the cows out to graze and jump about with the calves. Just as the young offspring of a deer playfully jump about, he would go along with all of his friends with a happy heart, picking flowers with their own hands. They would make garlands and decorate each other, and arriving at places like Kusum Sarovar, Radha-Kund and Shyamakund, they would enjoy pastimes there, saturated with ras. With special care, Krishna would string one garland that was not meant for any of the Sakas, and feeling great happiness as he thought of whom he would place this garland on, he tucked it away. Who can estimate the great good fortune of those flowers being picked and made into a garland by Krishna's own beautiful hands? When, in the evening, he would place that garland on a certain devotee, he would feel supremely blissful. Did any of this happen in Ram Lila? There was a constant heartbreak in Ramachandra's pastimes, but in contrast, in Krishna Lila, there was so much carefree happiness. Wow. In the same way as we may caress one person whom we love and lovingly slap another, Bhagavan has touched the earth in different ways in his different incarnations. Ramachandra touched the earth, and Nrsimhadeva also touched the earth. Assuming a fearful form, Nrsimhadeva appeared, and being extremely angry, he killed Hiranyakashipu. All of the residents of the heavenly and lower planetary systems were terrified with fear, and at that time the earth did not experience great pleasure. But when Krishna touched the earth in such a beautiful form, she really became fortunate. The rivers, especially the Jamuna, also became fortunate. At that time, Manasiganga was also a river, though now it is in the form of a pond, and it also became fortunate. He would lovingly glance towards the rivers because there he would sport with the gopis and sakas. The rivers would make a sweet sound as they flowed gently. Kal, 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 like Gurudeva explained. And bees would be hovering around the blooming lotuses. The soft breeze would carry the fragrance, and the entire scene would be so beautiful. Through the bestowal of his affectionate glances, he would also shower the nectar of his kindness upon the hills and mountains, because near them were very attractive kunjas, where there would be beautiful grass, and on the pretext of taking the cows to graze, he would go there. Sitting on the large rocks with his friends, they would decorate one another. These kunjas, such as the ones near Kusum Sarovar, were very beautiful, and there he would enjoy with the gopis as well. Wow. Wow. So here Param Gurudeva is explaining, it's so beautiful, right? Because how Param Gurudeva, like the verse is there, and like the verse is saying something, and then it's so beautiful with the commentary, because who is giving the commentary, in case Param Gurudeva, they always raise a question sometimes. They raise a questions, and sometimes even we cannot even think of the questions, right? So actually these the acharyas, they make the perfect questions, and then they give the perfect answer themselves, like questions that you cannot even think. Like, what is the question? Why the earth is specially blessed only with Krishna, not with the other incarnations? Because they actually the earth planet or also had contact with God before in the other incarnations. But why now she's so happy, specifically when Krishna comes? So that's the question. So Ramachandra, he also came here, He was also walking barefoot because Lord Ramchandra was king. He was cursed. He was sent into exile in a renounced form, like brahmachari, like, so he had to be barefoot. And but at the time he suffered so much, in separation from his wife, when she was kidnapped, going through so many things, killing demons. So actually the earth was actually not that joyful. But now with Krishna's pastime, yes, then the earth is so much happy, so happy, so happy. And then Param Gurudeva said that Krishna made a garland for one specific devotee. Do you think it's Srimati Radhika? Who? I don't know. He didn't say which devotee. I'm curious. He just said that Krishna took flowers and made a garland for a specific devotee and tucked away the garland. Tuck away. Did you remember? We read. And then later Krishna would give this garland to that specific devotee. But I generally never heard that Krishna makes garland for Srimati Radhika. Always we hear the other way, no? So I'm curious to know which devotee is it. If it's Srimati Radhika, who? I'm curious. I don't know if Param Gurudeva will say. If someone knows, please tell me. So how the earth is very, very happy, feeling Krishna specific, right? Krishna's lotus feet, the topmost form of Godhead, Lord with his two arms, because actually Ramachandra also had two arms, but he was very serious. So that's also something very important. Ramachandra is also a very important incarnation. We know he's the best, the perfect king, the perfect human being, showing us how to have a proper love in the family and how to behave properly as a human being and everything, how to be an ideal person. So that's very important. But Gurudeva, I remember one time was a Jamashtami, I think, or maybe Ram Navami, and he was in Delhi, and his morning class, I think I'll try to search and show to you, because it was amazing. Like that morning class, basically Gurudev was saying the comparison between Rama and Krishna, because the Vrajavasis say that ek nayanan chanchal, dusra nayanan gambhir, means the eyes of Ramchandra are very serious, and the eyes of Krishna, his glance is very, very restless, Then my Gurudeva started giving example in the class. Like, what do you prefer, right? You prefer when you are next to someone, do you feel happy when the person is very serious, like always serious, very, very strict, Or you like somebody who is like laughing, joking, making fun, like, being very nice mood, friendly mood, always laughing, smiling, funny jokes, So what do you prefer? And then, of course, you feel, you prefer someone who's very funny, very nice, very outgoing, treats you so much love and affection, and like in a very sweet dealing, like funny, and how to say, like not strict, not serious, very, very like light heart, very
Different. Different.
Sorry?
Different.
Yes.
Carefree.
Carefree, yes, carefree. So in the same way, Krishna, then he was saying, that's why Krishna is so much better than Ramachandra. So he was saying like this. So of course, Lord Ramachandra also, he shows friends, like he has friends also, like we know that Lord Ramachandra, he actually even also relished Sakyaras, he also has friends. But even though he made friendship with Hanuman, with Sugriv, his friends, they would not climb on his back. If, like example, if they embrace, sometimes he would embrace Sugriv or Hanuman, but they would be very careful not to step on his feet accidentally, because of course he's God. So they still remember all the time he's God. Like they will never forget. So it's completely different. So now Param Gurudeva is saying, this verse describes 4 benedictions. 4. So let's see what is 4 benedictions. Receiving Krishna's affectionate glances. So his glance, okay? Second, receiving the touch of his feet. So the earth is receiving the touch of his feet. Third, receiving the touch of his hands and being embraced by his arms, as the gopis were. Okay, so glances, touch of his feet, touch of his hand, and being embraced, okay? When Krishna would be taking the cows out to graze, from hidden positions, the gopis would lovingly glance at him. And then he would glance towards them with such affection that it would immerse them in remembrance of his sweetness. In the same way, he would glance towards the different birds and animals, and from this, they also became fortunate. Sometimes a peacock, being maddened in bhav, would come near him, and he would gently stroke it with his hand. Sometimes he would call a parrot, and when it flew onto his hand, while stroking it gently, he would teach it to speak and then listen to what the parrot said back. The calves would also receive the touch of his hands, the calves. Very young calves, perhaps only a few days old, forgetting the company of their own mothers, they would jump along as they accompanied Krishna to the forest. As they proceeded further and further, they would become fatigued. So Krishna would take them on his lap and massage their legs. And with great love, he would speak sweet words to them, to the calves. Tell me, how much good fortune did those calves possess? Krishna would also take the sakas, his friends, on his lap and stroke them. And in this way, Subal and others received the touch of his hands. Considering the diverse sentiments of the residents of Vrindavan, he touches them in different ways. When Krishna takes the cows and his friends to drink from and sport in the rivers have one type of sentiment. And when he goes there with the gopis, they have a different type of bhav. Receiving the touch of Krishna's feet, the rivers swell in spiritual ecstasy. The trees have the sentiment of sakas, friends, and they receive the touch of both his hands and feet. The cows have the sentiment of being his mother, and the calves have the sentiment of being friends, sakas. The creepers have the devotional feeling of sakis, female friends. And when he picks flowers from them, it is as if he's teasing a gopi with his touch. The gopis also receive the touch of Krishna's lotus feet. So, Param Gurudeva is describing how different living entities of Vrindavan, they have different love towards Krishna. So we know that actually there are main 5 rasas, right? Shanta, Dasa, Sakya, Vatsalya, Madhurya, neutrality, friendship, servitorship, friendship, parental love, and conjugal love. But in Vrindavana, mainly only 3 specifically. So everyone in Vrindavana sees Krishna as a friend, Sakya Bhav, or as a son, Vatsalya Bhav, or as a beloved, Madhurya Rasa, okay? So you can say, oh, but what about Raktak and Patrak? You know, they are servants in the house of Krishna. But actually, even though they are servants in the house of Krishna, they think my master is Nanda Maharaj. So they consider themselves servants of Nanda Maharaj, Krishna's father. But towards Krishna, they have maybe Sakya Bhav or maybe Vatsalya Bhav, depending on the age, Raktak, Patrak. So even though they're in the Dasya, this Dasya Rasa in Vrindavan is not actually Dasya, because they consider themselves, we are the servants of Nanda Maharaj. So the gopis, so Param Gurudeva is explaining which mood, like, okay, for example, in a tree, right? Sometimes Gurudeva says the tree is like the father, creepers like the mother, the fruits are the sons, the flowers, the daughters. Here Param Gurudeva is saying the flowers is like the creepers are like sakis, like friends, female friends. And when Krishna is taking the flowers from the creepers, it is as if he's teasing a gopi with his touch. And now Param Gurudeva will recite this verse. This verse is a very, very high verse. Srimad-Bhagavatam 10:31-19. What is it? The last shloka of the Gopi Gita. Gopi Gita, the song of the gopis. So this is actually another, if we have time, every day we should recite Gopi Gita in this month of Purushottam, full of the Viraha Bhav of the gopis. So let's read this verse together. And we are also, soon we're going to, let me see how many pages more. We'll read until the end, only 2 pages more, and we'll finish this first chapter. So this verse, let's read together. Yate sujata charanam buruham staneshu bhita shanai priyadadi mahikar kasheshu te nartavim artasitadvyatapena kinsit korpadi bir brahmati dhir bhavayayushamna. The gopi said, "Oh, dear one, your lotus feet are so soft that we place them gently on our breasts, fearing that they will be harmed. Our life rests only in you, and therefore our minds are filled with anxiety that your tender feet might be wounded by pebbles as you roam about on the forest path." The gopis are arguing with their own minds. Their minds are saying to them, Why are you worrying about Krishna? There is no necessity. But from the deep within their hearts, from their very souls, the gopis reply, we are upset because Krishna's feet are very soft, and we are afraid that they will be pricked by thorns and pebbles. Because Krishna walks bare feet right in Vrindavan, behind the cows. So we desire that he should never feel any pain. And then the mind answers, is Krishna blind? He has eyes, doesn't he? He can see where to place his feet while walking. But then another mind answer, oh mind, the calves run here and there, and do they only go to safe and smooth places? No, they run near the mountains, the rivers, the jungles, and they also have hooves that protect them from sharp objects. But if Krishna goes to such places, his feet will be burned by the hot sand or pricked by thorns and pebbles. By the hot sand. Oh mind, you have no intelligence. And then the other part of the mind answer, but in Vrindavana, there are no such thorns and pebbles. Everything here is Vishuddha Sattva, transcendental purity. They appear to be ordinary thorns, but it is as if they are made of rubber. Will rubber thorns prick your feet? They give a very soft touch to Krishna's tender feet when he steps on them. And the pebbles are softer than butter. By the influence of Vishuddha Sattva, the transcendental existence, potency, Devi has decorated her landscape with these soft and golden pebbles, so Krishna will never feel any pain. So in this way, the gopis are arguing with their own minds. The gopis receive the touch of those feet in the rasa dance. So the touch of Krishna's feet on their breasts. A benediction that even Laksmi-devi desires. And Brahma is always also meditating on those feet. So there's a verse of the Bhagavatam. Ahushchatena lina nabha padarabindam Yogeshwara hridi vichintayam agada buddhi. Such great storehouses of knowledge as Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, the Kumaras, Shukadeva Goswami are always trying to remember Krishna's lotus feet. But only with great difficulty do those feet appear in their meditation. Responding to Krishna's teasing with jealous anger, the gopis say, you have instructed us to meditate, but realization of you rarely comes even in the meditation of the most highly learned devotees. We want you to come back to Vrindavan. And those feet that are being meditated on by so many, we desire to play with them directly. What to speak of holding them within our brains in meditation? We desire to hold them close to us. Meditation will not satisfy us, so we won't do it. Gopis, the gopis, they desire to receive the touch of his feet while they are decorating him. And then they will also receive the touch of his hands. And in the end, they will receive the benediction of being embraced between his two strong arms. Krishna will be touching their feet also. When they exhibit jealous anger, man, and he's trying to appease them. So Krishna falls to the feet of the gopis when they're in man. Then everything is reversed. And Lakshmi also desires all of this. So in this verse, So in this verse, when Krishna says, my dear brother, today the earth has become glorious, he's simply using the presence of Baladev Prabhu as a pretext so that the sweetness of Krishna himself, the sweetness of the gopis, and the glories of Vrindavan can all be specifically described. And why has Vrindavan become glorious? Because in that place, the grass and creepers receive the touch of Krishna's feet. Its vines and trees received the touch of his hands, and its rivers, mountains, birds, and animals received his affectionate glances. But above all, Vrindavan is especially glorious because of the presence of the gopis, whom Krishna himself serves. Jai Krishna Kanhaiya Lal ki jai, Vala Radharani ki jai, Jai Jai Shri Radhe.
Jai.
So all this is contained in that first verse that we read, which is actually, like, remember the Bhakti-Rasayana chapter of Srimad-Bhagavatam has many verses. How many was it? 987 or something? Or 50? No, I forgot. But Param Gurudeva describes, I think, 27 of these verses in this book. So he's describing many of these verses here. And wow. Does anyone want to say anything or anything now? Please go on. Open your mic. And wow. So yes, so this verse here, Ahushchatena Linanabda Padaravindam, this verse is very important in the Ratha Yatra Prasanga. Means when the gopis meet Krishna in Kurukshetra, which is the mood of Ratha Yatra, Krishna says, like this is the main Harikatha of the Ratha Yatra, okay? Krishna says, Mai Bhakta Bhutanam Amritata Kalpate, like he says, oh, you came here to Kurukshetra because you love me. But don't think I'm far from you. You're in Vrindavana suffering because I'm not there, but I'm actually everywhere. I'm God. Just meditate on me. Krishna says this, okay? Then the gopis answered this verse. Jogeshwar Haridev Vichintaya Agadabodai, very angry. The gopis say, what? You're telling us to meditate on you? We want to forget your feet. We don't want to meditate. We actually want to forget you. You should tell like Lord Brahma and other devotees to meditate, because actually they cannot even properly meditate, to not come in their meditation. We want to forget you, but we can't. So then Param Gurudeva is also saying here, actually, we don't want to meditate. We want to directly serve your feet. So this is the answer when the gopis became very angry when Krishna told them to meditate. So this verse is very, very beautiful, described also in the Harikatha about the Ratha Yatra, about the meeting of Krishna and the gopis in Kurukshetra. So the gopis, they don't want to meditate. They want Krishna directly there, because the gopis, there are three kinds of love in Vrindavan. Srila Gurudeva always explains. One love is called Vivek Shunya Prem. Vivek Shunya Prem, this is the prema of the trees, of the animals. Vivek Shunya means they don't have discrimination. So specifically we hear about this, about when Krishna is not in Vrindavan or like separation mood, because Vivek Shunya Prema means they don't have discrimination. So for example, Krishna, there are many forests in Vrindavan, right? So Krishna, each day he goes to a different forest. So example, if you're a tree in one of those forests, it's not every day you see Krishna. Sometimes you see Krishna, sometimes not, because every day he goes to different forests, okay? And if you're an animal also in that forest, some days you see him, sometimes not. So you're used to that. So Vivek Shunya means these living beings, they don't have discriminations. Like they don't even know if Krishna is in Vrindavan or not. Like if you went to Mathura or whatever, because for them it's actually, like they're used to this, because Krishna goes different days in different forests. But, and then the other one is Vishramba Prem. Vishramba Prem is the prem of his friends, the Sakas. So also Krishna doesn't stay with them all the time. Like sometimes Krishna goes meet the gopis like these. So they have so much intimacy with Krishna. They always think, oh, Krishna is here. He's just here with us, So they don't also see directly like, okay, Krishna is not here. They always think, oh, Krishna is coming. He's coming soon to play with us. So this is the second kind. And the third kind of is Utkantamai Prem. Utkantamai Prem is the love of the gopis, specifically also Vatsalya Bhav, gopis, like Mother Jashoda, and also the gopis Parakya Bhav, like Shrimati Radhika and the gopis. Because they have this Utkantamai Prema, means they have so much Utkanta, means eagerness to see Krishna. They're only pacified if they see Krishna in front of them. If they not see Krishna in front of them, they are not pacified. So this kind of love is the third kind of love in Vrindavan. It's like this. The gopis, like this meditation, no. They want to see Krishna directly in front of them. Nothing else can pacify the love of someone who has Utkantamai Prem. But the other two categories, which is Vishramba Prem, which is the love of the friends of Krishna, and the first one, Vivek Shunya Prem. Vivek Shunya means without discrimination, means the love of the animals of Vrindavan and the trees. Then it's like more passive, like it's not like Utkantamai Prem is the gopis. They are only satisfied if they are only satisfied if they see Krishna. So the gopis are saying, please, they desire to receive the touch of his feet while they're decorating him. And they also want to receive the touch of his hands. And they want to receive the benediction of being embraced by Krishna's two strong arms. But when gopis, they're man, everything is other way around. Krishna falls to their feet. So how Param Gurudeva finished the chapter? Vrindavan is especially glorious because of the presence of the gopis, whom Krishna himself serves. So we know that actually, why is so glorious? Actually, Krishna wants to serve the gopis. Why? Because actually this is the glory of Parakya Bhava, right? Why is so amazing? Because Parakya Bhava, sorry, where's that verse? Vrindavan, we recite every day in the after Mangalarati. Parakya Bhava Jaho Brajate Prachar. Jayo Jayo Jala Rasasar Parakya Bhava Brajate Prachar. That is actually topmost mood, Parakya Bhava, only present in Vrindavan, nowhere else. So in Vrindavan, why so glorious? Because Parakya Bhav. Parakya Bhav means paramour mood. So Krishna and the gopis, they are not married. and they meet hiddenly. So they have the Parakya Bhav means Paramurmut has 4 weapons, which are infallible weapons. Amog Shast. Amog, like infallible weapons. So which are they? First, Durlabhata is very rare to meet each other. Durlabhata, right? Second, Prachanakamakta, the love of the gopis is also hidden. Nobody knows they love Krishna. No one else knows. Like actually the devotees of Dasya, Sakya, even though they're actually nourishing Parakya Bhav, they actually don't know what's going on. Like when Krishna was present in the earth, nobody knew Krishna is meeting the gopis, nothing. They used to meet at night, like nobody knew anything. So the gopis, they will not tell anyone they love Krishna. And then also you have what? Vamyata. Vamyata means the left-wing mood. So means man. The gopis, they are like this, angry, like they are like sulky mood. So they don't easily meet Krishna. Sometimes they're angry with him, they don't want him. And then Krishna has to fall on their feet, on the feet of the manjaris, né? Jatkin Karashi, Bahusha, Kalukha, Kubani. Então, parasa Shikanda Moler Kadara Samrasa Nedebri Shabhan Jaya, Tat Keli Kunjani Bhavani Majanisyam. Right? I want to become a blade, how to say, a broomstick of this, a stick of this broom that sweeps the kunjas. In these kunjas where Krishna is falling to the feet of the manjaris, which are in the front of the kunja door, not allowing Krishna to come in because Srimati Radha is in man and Krishna is falling in their feet. So what happens actually, Krishna, why he actually likes this? Because in all the other places, so sorry, I just missed the 4 weapon of the Parakya Bhav. So Durlabhata, rare to meet. Prachanakamakta, love is hidden. Then you have Durlab Vamyata, which is left-wing mood, and Nibaranata, the 4th weapon, which is the impediment of the superiors. So there's so many obstacles, like the superiors, the society don't allow the meeting of gopis and Krishna to take place because they're married to someone else. And also, even when they're still young, like when they become a little bit older, they cannot go because the society prohibits. You're boy, girl, you cannot mix. So actually, this actually increases the love between them. Like we are also reading Prema Samput. Real love actually increases with any obstacle. It gets nourished by the obstacles. So I'm saying this because actually in Dwaraka, for example, Krishna has 16,108 queens, but he's not doing Rasa Lila there, even though he has so many wives. Why? Because Rasa Lila is based in Parakya Bhav, in the Paramurmut. Because actually what happens in the Sakya Rasa means when you're married, wedded love, like Krishna in Dwaraka, there's actually so much, it's the other way around. The wife is like a servant of the husband, okay? Because she sees the husband as God, and he serves him. So actually it's like a little bit Dasya Rasa also, like, because she's actually serving the husband all the time. So much, Mariada, he's my husband, he's higher than me. I'm a servant, I have to please him all the time. He's God to me, he's God like this. All wives, and also, of course, the wives of Krishna already think he's God because in Dwaraka mode, they see him as God anyway. So it's so much actually Dasya Rasa involved. But in Parakya Bhav, in the Paramamud, then is real love. Love, because actually they love Krishna. They want to serve him, not because, oh, he's my husband, not because my duty, I'm his wife. No, just for his happiness. And then Krishna, what? This actually completely controls Krishna. And actually, Krishna becomes the servant of the gopis, especially Srimati Radha. So we see the Param Gurudev Seva Kunja, that beautiful, the Seva Kunja, the heart of Param Gurudev. So in Vrindavan, so in all the places, all the Veda Puranas, Upanishads, in all the Shastras, the devotees are searching how to serve God, how to serve the Supreme God. And in Vaikuntha, everyone is serving the Supreme Lord, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, in Dwaraka, Mathura. But when they come to Seva Kunj, so this is a forest in Vrindavan, they see actually, it's not that, oh, Srimati Radha is serving Krishna there. No, Krishna is serving Srimati Radha. So it's the other way around. Because Krishna falls at the feet of Srimati Radha, begging for her love. And Krishna, she loves that. He loves this. So this is so beautiful. So beautiful, right? So in this book, this was only the first chapter, Param Gurudeva. So if you can remember this while we chant our rounds, remember how Param Gurudeva is telling us about how the earth is so fortunate, especially the earth is fortunate because of Krishna's touch on the earth, walking barefoot on the earth and touching the earth with his feet, and like all the nature is in rapture, right? In the ecstasy, because having received the touch of Krishna's feet, and how all the animals also are, Krishna is stroking them, and Krishna is also looking at them with so much love and affection, and taking the flowers and making garlands and well, all that we read today, we should remember that. So beautiful. Does anyone want to say anything? Or any kind of correction, or like any like comment or something I said wrong you want to tell, please? Go ahead. Otherwise, we'll continue next Monday, 8 p.m.
We had a question in the chat.
Haribo, Indira Didi?
You put a question in the chat.
Oh, there's someone in the chat. Let me see. What? Oh, let me see here. Oh, Krishna Premavati Didi. Oh, sorry, I didn't see. Ah, okay. Oh, sorry. Actually, I should have muted everyone that time we were singing. It was my fault also. But I didn't know where was the button to mute. And anyway, it would be better, yeah, if I had muted for the sound. Radharani, of course, it must be mentioned somewhere. Oh, Krishna Premavati Didi is mentioning about the garland, I think, huh? So 9, Krishna Premavati Didi. Does Krishna also embrace the manjaris? Because we always hear that manjaris do not aspire to meet with Krishna personally, but make Radha Krishna meet. Okay, so she's asking, are you still there, Krishna Premavati Didi? I don't know if she's still here. Are you here? Haribol. So we know that
Yes, I'm here, Didi. Radhe Radhe.
Haribo, Radhe Radhe. So there are like, I'll not say like a yes or no. I'll just tell you a lila, because like, of course, this is transcendental, and Gurudeva doesn't generally speak about this, but there's a pastime that Gurudeva tells, and I think the pastime itself is an answer to this, and from this you can understand that actually the answer is yes, but depends on the context, depends on the moment. I don't know exactly how it works, their routine of their meeting, I mean the pastimes, what happens there, how they see each other, embrace or not, I don't know. But there's one pastime called Madhupan Lila, okay? Madhupan Lila pastime. In the Madhupan Lila pastime, Gurudeva, sometimes he describes this pastime, which is they drink honey, okay? So what happens? Because often Shrimati Radhika wants to test the nishta of the gopis, of the manjaris, okay? So she wants to see if they're really loyal to her or not, right? Sometimes Gurudeva explains. So what do? They give, so Krishna and Shrimati Radhika and the manjaris, so they start drinking honey. So honey, if you drink too much honey, you become like intoxicated, you know. But what happens? Krishna pretends to drink, okay, but the manjaris start drinking, and they become dizzy, okay, and then in this time Krishna takes some advantage. But sometimes also Gurudeva explains that sometimes, like then sorry, I think I mean to test the manjaris, sometimes Shrimati Radhika says, oh, go there in that garden or something, and then she tells Krishna to also go. Shrimati Radhika tells Krishna to go, and the manjari also to go. But the manjari doesn't know Shrimati Radhika set up for Krishna to go as well. And then Krishna tries to embrace the manjari, to do something the manjari, like, you know, pulling her cloth or something. But then the manjari calls out for Shrimati Radhika, help me, help me. And then Shrimati Radhika steps in, and this was like a test of loyalty. But then, so Gurudev tells this, and the Madhupan Lila, generally when Gurudev tells the Madhupan Lila, it seems like from how the pastime, like, because generally Gurudev doesn't tell until the end, but it seems like in that moment, Krishna is able, like, because they become like intoxicated, right? So they become dizzy like this, and they don't know what's going on. And yes, so yeah, you can understand from that point. But yeah, the manjaris, they don't want to meet with Krishna, not even in their dreams. They just want Shrimati Radhika and serve her. Right? So we'll stop here.
For explaining. Thanks for
Haribo.
mentioning that this katha, Haribo.
Sorry, what'd you say?
So thank you for mentioning that.
Yeah, you heard this, huh? Madhupan Lila. You can read more about it. I think it's maybe in maybe Govinda Lilamrita or Sri Krishna Bhavanamrita, if you maybe it's there. Madhupan Lila, and then you can see more.
I hadn't heard it before, actually. I'll search for it. No.
Yeah, Gurudeva
Thank you.
sometimes tells, but he just mentions like this. He starts the beginning and then you can understand maybe the end.
So Krishna take advantage in their intoxicated state.
Yes.
Funny.
But yeah. But
Thanks.
Gurudeva doesn't tell details, so I don't know exactly what is the meaning of that and how does it happen, what
No, of
happens there. I
course,
don't
but
know. He just
they
starts
don't-
the
they-
sentence, but okay.
Right.
Jai Srila Gurudeva.
Thank
It's okay. We're going here. Vanchakalpatarubhya kripa sindhubhya patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Jai Srila Gurudeva ki jai. Jai Jai Sri Radha. Thank you everyone. Basanti Didi, Indira Didi, Madhubala Didi, Lalit Mohini Didi, Krishna Kripa Prabhu, Krishna Pramavati Didi, Dandavat Pranams.
Haribol.
Haribo pranams.
Haribol.
I go.